Donald Trump was on a phone call with the new Prime Minister of Ireland when something caught his eye. Let's watch.
We have a lot of your Irish press watching us. They're just now leaving the room. And where are you from? Go ahead, come here. Where are you from? We have all of this beautiful Irish press. Where are you from?
I'm from RTE News. The Taoiseach will know me as Caitriona Perry.
Caitriona Perry. She has a nice smile on her face, so I bet she treats you well.
Oh. Anyway, this is Caitriona Perry. She is, we're gonna show you the picture, a reporter with RTE for a number of years, was just trying to leave the room when she was pulled aside by him. She tweeted a video of the bizarre moment when President Donald Trump called me over during his call with the leader there, and I love that she also added him on that. And by the way, so that was what she posted on Twitter. If we could bring up the Instagram, which I believe she took down, one of the more bizarre moments, being called over in the middle with hashtag this job, hashtag this town, hashtag there is no hashtag, which says a lot, as hashtags sometimes do.
Okay, so you hit on the thing I really want to talk about, her Instagram account. Seriously, I don't know why she took that down. I hope to God that they're not out there being like, oh, now let's not insult the president just because he pulled you over to stare at you in front of the world and he's a weird creep. Well, let's not imply that in any way, shape, or form.
That's true. I mean, there's also the chance that immediately after posting that, and once it started to spread, she got about 1,000 rape threats from Donald Trump supporters.
That's also entirely true.
It is the internet, after
None
all.
of those scenarios are good scenarios. Okay, and then I just want to commend her on hashtag there is no hashtag. That's awesome. It should be used more.
Yeah.
In fact, come here. I want to tell you how good that hashtag is. Could you imagine? That's the president of the United States, man. Now I know we used to have presidents do much worse behind the scenes. Okay. But you're like, he's such a child. The cameras are everywhere. You're calling her over because
he thinks it's charming.
Yeah, he said you have a beautiful Irish press. What is that?
And she has a really nice smile. She must treat you well. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But I know, so some people, Kayleigh McElhaney or whatever her name is, she's one of those on CNN or MSNBC, it's all the same thing, that's paid to come out and defend Trump on whatever he says or does, was like, why are you guys claiming that this is sexism? He's just charming, he just likes talking to people. But here's the thing. Donald Trump is not some unknown quantity. We know a lot about him. So if you're that reporter, and you can't tell, but I'm pointing at a picture of her. If you're that reporter and you see him, you know that he's the grab them by the pussy guy.
Oh.
You know all of the things he's said about women, the accusations of sexual harassment and sexual assault, the comments about his daughter. You know all of that, and Donald Trump, you know that she knows all of that. And so you call her over and talk about her beautiful smile. Whether you think you're a creep, and nobody thinks they're a creep, you need to understand that people think you're a creep, and you're being creepy.
Well, that's the thing, as usual, not that bright. So even if you thought, oh man, I'd love to hit on her, and look, nobody's policing anybody's thoughts, okay? People will have their thoughts, and there's no way around that. But if you've already gotten into a lot of political trouble over statements like that, you'd think you'd be savvy enough to say, hey, let me not call that woman over because I think she's hot.
Yeah.
Like that's probably not a smart political move to do. Besides which, what am I gonna do? Ask her out on a date in the middle of a call with the Irish Prime Minister? And look, the part of those tapes that are underrated, if anything in those tapes was underrated, is when he said, oh, I hit on her anyway, even though I know she's married, I try to get her to sleep with me. And I even bought her furniture, but it didn't work. Like that's the kind of classless guy he is.
We've all been there.
Right, we've all been, could you imagine?
I don't even know why I go to IKEA anymore.
You run into a girl at the mall, does that still happen?
How'd you like a nightstand?
I will buy you a couch. So anyway, she of course was a little freaked out by it, as well she should have, and now we're all freaked out by it.
Exactly.
What do you get for Young Turks membership? It's a mystery. Only one way to find out. TYTnetwork.com/join.